So now we should study about the renal impairment, that is your next unit, fifth unit. This renal impairment is nothing but your damage to the kidneys or non-functioning of your kidneys. So mainly what are the important functions of the kidneys means it will regulate your body fluids and electrolyte balance in your body and removal of metabolic waste and also the drug excretion of your metabolism from your body. So whenever you have the impairment of the kidneys, it causes the degeneration of the tissues in the kidneys, and also it affects the pharmacokinetics of the drug also, because mainly the elimination process will be occurring by the kidneys only. So mostly you will get the deferred or altered PK parameters of your drugs once you administer into your body. So the renal impairment is nothing but the non-functioning of your kidneys, or if any impairment of the tissues that is occurring in your kidneys. So what we have to do means we are going to adjust the dose to the patients who are suffering with this renal impairment. So in the acute diseases, or if any in case of trauma to kidneys, so some patients will be suffering with the uremia. So in the uremia, what is the condition means the glomerular filtration will be impaired, that is filtration rate will be lowered. So if the filtration rate is lower, it causes accumulation of excessive fluid and blood nitrogenous products in your body. So automatically when you take any drug, if it is not metabolized or excreted properly, so it will be developing or accumulating inside the body only. So if that accumulation occurs in your body, it leads to toxicity. So automatically if your GF, that is nothing but your glomerular filtration, is impaired, you will be having the reduced glomerular filtration or active secretion will be there, which leads to the decrease in drug excretion and longer T-half of administered drug. Okay, so this is the major cause if a person is suffering with any kidney failure or kidney damage, etc. So that is nothing but finally what is the main thing that is going to occur means all the drugs which you are taking, if a person is suffering with renal impairment, will be seeing your toxicity levels, that is the drug or toxicity levels will be increased, because elimination process is not going to occur and the rate of filtration rate is also decreasing. So that leads to the longer T half, and also the lower drug excretion will be there. So what may be the causes of kidney failure? So what are the important factors that causes the kidney failure means the first thing is that hypertension, that is high BP, and pyelonephritis. Pyelonephritis is nothing but your kidney damage due to any bacterial infections. Okay, so that is called as the pyelonephritis. Diabetes mellitus, and nephrotoxic drugs, that is nothing but these are the drugs which are harmful to your kidneys, like heavy metals and aminoglycosides. So not only these four, many other factors are there, but these are the four main causes of the kidney failure. So once a patient is suffering with uremia, that is nothing but the kidney impairment, that is nothing but in uremic patients there will be a decrease in glomerular filtration rate and thereby developing the toxicity. So if uremia is occurring in a patient, you will be seeing the impaired PK parameters, that is you will be having the altered distribution and elimination process. So therefore you should consider the special parameters in those patients. Okay, so what are the PK considerations which you are going to see? That is nothing but PK considerations is nothing but your absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination process. So how you should alter and how it is going to affect to a patient, let's study. Okay, so in uremic patients what happens? So if the patient is suffering with any renal impairment, automatically he is a uremic patient, and you might be seeing some changes in your bioavailability, volume of distribution and clearance. That is, bioavailability will not be higher and volume of distribution will also be not clear, and rate of clearance, that is drug elimination, will also be clear. So oral bioavailability of drugs is decreased due to conditions like GI motility, pH, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. So these are all other conditions, and also the mesenteric blood flow will also be altered. So we have to take into consideration the volume of distribution and clearance. So as these are the two main factors which will be responsible for getting your bioavailability or elimination, that is distribution will be playing a major role, and elimination will also be playing a major role. So that's why we are taking these two parameters into consideration, that VD. So VD is nothing but your volume of distribution. So what happens in uremic patients means, so it alters the volume of distribution due to fluid imbalance, and there will be a drug protein binding will be also be lowered. So if drug protein binding is lowered, so you might not be getting the correct distribution of the drug to the site of action. So if plasma protein of plasma protein binding of weakly acidic drugs are there, so it will reduce that is the functioning of the VD. And if plasma protein binding of weak basics are there, weak basic drugs are there, so it will be less affected. So if drug protein binding is lowered, that is nothing but, so if you are taking any drug, so if protein binding is not occurring in your body, so what happens, they are not getting metabolized in your body. So what happened, automatically the free drug concentration will be developing higher in your bloodstreams. So what happens, if bloodstream if free drug is developed in your body, which leads to the increase in volume of distribution. So if volume of distribution is increased, automatically your T half is also increased, that is it will be taking more time for the drug to get excreted. So if VD is higher, your T half will also be higher. So which due to this, what happens, if T half is very higher, that indicates that there will be a lower glomerular filtration rate. If filtration rate is higher, your T half will also be getting affected, that is you will be getting within a short period of time. But if your glomerular filtration is lowered, what happens, your T half is also be increased. Okay, so what happens in the case of VD means, just you have to remember that, so if drug protein binding is lowered, free fraction of drug will be developing in your body. So if the free fraction of drug is developing in your body, that is free drug concentration is increasing in your bloodstream, so automatically it takes some time to get eliminated, that is T half will be increased, thereby your glomerular filtration rate will be decreased. Okay, so this is the point you have to write in this. And next, coming to the clearance, so the clearance will be getting decreased due to decrease in glomerular filtration rate and also the hepatic clearance. So a complete PK analysis of the drug in uremic patient is not possible due to the point that uremic condition is not stable. So if clearance is lowered, when the clearance will be lowered means when the filtration rate is lowered and the hepatic clearance is not properly done, then automatically your clearance will also be getting decreased. So we cannot say that only on these parameters your concentration is getting decreased or T half is getting increased, but because these uremic patients will not have the stable conditions from point to point, so that's why we cannot take only these parameters taken into consideration before giving any dosage adjustment for the people who are suffering with your uremia. Okay, so what are the major, that is the general approaches for dosage adjustment? So we have studied about all these factors like VD, clearance, etc., but we have to know what are the general approaches for dosage adjustment. That means nothing but, we are, by taking these into consideration, we are adjusting the dosage. So in those patients who are suffering with uremia, so what should be the drugs to be administered to those patients to get into normal conditions. So let us see some general approaches for dose adjustment. So the design of dosage regimens for uremic patient is based on the PK changes that have occurred as a result of uremic condition. Drugs in patients with uremia or kidney impairment have prolonged elimination half-life and a change in aberrant volume of distribution. The methods for dose adjustment in uremic patients are based on accurate estimation of drug clearance in these patients. So I have told you now already, so you will be having the T half will be very greater. So we will be taking, if you want to adjust any dose adjustment in these patients, you will be taking the two parameters into consideration, that is the methods based on your drug clearance and methods based on elimination half-life. So if your drug clearance and elimination half-life are better, you will be getting the, that is your the patients will be getting decreased with your renal impairment, that is they'll be when you give the correct dose to the patients, they'll be recovering from that. Okay, so here measurement of glomerular filtration rate. So how you are going to measure this glomerular filtration means, so you will be having some criteria. So what are those criteria means, the drug should be freely filtered and it should be reabsorbed, it should not be metabolized, and it should not bind to plasma proteins. Drug should not have effect on your filtration rate, and drug should be non-toxic. So these are the some of your criteria which is required before going to measuring any glomerular filtration rate of any drug. So therefore the rate at which the drug is filtered from the blood into urine per unit time reflects the glomerular weight of the kidneys. So we will be measuring, so how much amount of or how much volume of urine is getting filtered at a time period, that is per unit time, how much it is getting filtered. So by that only we can know how much percentage of the volume of the urine is being filtered through the glomerular filtration. So the example is inulin, which is a fructose polysaccharide, fulfills the most of the criteria listed, and therefore it is used as a standard reference for measurement of glomerular filtration rate. So if any case, if you want to measure any standard values of anything, that is if you want to measure the standard value of your glomerular filtration rate, we are going to take into consideration the inulin. So it is a fructose polysaccharide, so all the criteria will be fulfilled by this inulin, that is a polysaccharide. So if you want to measure with between the test and standard, we are going to take the standard as this inulin. So if you want to measure the glomerular filtration rate, the clearance of creatinine is most used mostly extensively as a measurement of GFR. Creatinine production varies with age, weight, and gender of individual. So coming to the clearance, so not all the persons will have the same creatinine production in your body. It will be changing from age and varying from your weight of your individual, or from gender, that is from males and females it will be varying. So in humans, creatinine is filtered mainly at glomerulus with no tubular reabsorption. Creatinine clearance decreases in elderly people. So when you compare to the normal healthy individuals at the normal age, when you compare with the elderly people will be having the low amount of creatinine clearance, that is it will be decreased at that age. So for this purpose, we are going to study about one diagnostic test, that is blood urea nitrogen test, which is commonly used for the studying of your creatinine clearance. So this one test, that is nothing but your blood urea nitrogen test, is commonly used in clinical diagnostic test for testing your renal disease. So if any person is having any renal diseases, how will you will come to know means by performing this test only, that is nothing but your blood urea nitrogen test, which is called BUN test. So urea is the end product of the protein catabolism and is excreted to the kidneys. So how much should be the range of this blood urea nitrogen test means it should be around 10 to 20 mg per dl. So if the BUN rate increases, your there will be a presence of renal disease. So above that 10 to 20 is a normal range. So above the 20 range, it indicates that the person is suffering with your renal diseases. So what are the other factors which increases your BUN rate? So if BUN rate is increased, automatically you will know that the patient is suffering with any renal diseases. So what are the other factors which increases the BUN rate means the excessive protein intake, reduced renal blood flow, hemorrhagic shock, and gastric bleeding. So these are all the factors which increases your BUN rate. So you should see that the range, the whatever the blood urea nitrogen test, when you perform this test to any individual, so you have to see the value should be between your 10 to 20 mg per dl only. So if it is higher than that, the person is suffering with your renal disease only. Next, we are going to see the serum creatinine concentration and creatinine clearance. So in the normal conditions, the serum creatinine production is equal to serum creatinine excretion. That is nothing but how much amount of creatinine is produced in your body is equal to that much amount of serum produced is excreted from your body. So the serum creatinine level will be maintained constant conditions in your body. So if glomerular filtration is decreased, it causes accumulation of serum creatinine. So if serum creatinine is accumulated in your body, what happens? Then it will lead to the decrease in your glomerular filtration. So if glomerular filtration rate is decreased, your kidneys will be getting impaired. So creatinine clearance can be calculated directly by determining the patient's serum creatinine concentration and rate of urinary excretion of creatinine. So here these terms will be written, that is the creatinine clearance and also the serum creatinine. So both these terms will be expressed in units like ml per minute and mg per dl or mg percentage. So we are going to take into consideration these factors and we have developed one equation. So the following equation is used to calculate the creatinine clearance in ml per minute when serum creatinine concentration is known. The CLR CLCR is equal to rate of urinary excretion of creatinine by serum concentration of creatinine. That is, we are going to check the creatinine concentration in urine as well as in your blood, that is in your serum concentration of your creatinine. So it will give the value like CLCR is equal to CUV into 100 by CCR into 1440. So CCR is nothing but creatinine concentration of serum, and V is the volume of urine excreted, and Cu is the concentration of creatinine in urine, and CLCR is equal to creatinine clearance. So this creatinine clearance value should be considered carefully in special populations such as elderly obese people. So because I have told you, no, so these values will be changing from age and from person to person, so we have to take into consideration in special population. That is nothing but when you are going to give any dosage adjustment for the pediatrics or geriatrics, so you have to check some parameters. So in practice, serum creatinine concentration is determined at the midpoint of urinary collection period, and the rate of urinary excretion is measured for the entire day. So if you want to take any serum concentration in your urine, that is, the sample should be collected at the midpoint time interval only. So we should not collect at the starting time of the drug given or at the end time. Just we have to collect the sample at the middle of the point only. So the following equation has been used to estimate the lean body weight in renally impaired patients. So here, if you want to go to calculate that lean body weight, so this also plays a major role in calculating the creatinine clearance. So we are going to take the lean body mass or lean body weight. So how much it should be, the range should be in like this. The lean body weight in males should be 50 kg plus 2.3 kg for each inch over 5 feet, and for females it should be 45.5 kg plus 2.3 kg for each inch over 5 feet. Okay, so these are the normal values which should be maintained for a person. So these all factors will be taken into consideration. So creatinine clearance and etc. So these will also be taken, or the serum creatinine and creatinine clearance in your urine and the Bun test. So all these factors will be taken into consideration, and we will be doing the dosage adjustment to the patients. So we have to consider all these factors, that clearance should be considered, VD should be considered, and all the factors should be considered, etc. So these are all some general approaches, that is the general things which we have to consider before we are giving any dosage adjustment to a particular patient. Okay, so this is about your renal impairment. So the remaining topics will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.